Hi everybody, this is just an introductory video before we meet you at the webinar next week to give you a bit of information about the Great Science Share Regional Champion role. So since 2016 you'll now know that Great Science Share is part of the primary science calendar, and many organisations and groups support us, many of which you're involved with, and we thank you right from the start for your interest to join our team this year and to take on this role. You'll be joining our group, which involves Steph Hepworth, who is the Great Science Share Campaign Manager, and also Kate Goodyear, who is the Great Science Share Administrator, along with myself and other people who come in and out of the team to offer specific support, for instance, to do with data or evaluation, to help us along each year. Over the past 2 years, we've had two key goals in mind: to basically improve engagement, which again will be why we really have invested in this role this year. We want to increase the reach and the engagement of schools right across the UK, and also the quality of the experience that takes place as part of the Great Science Share. So we want the children's questions and the investigations to be increasingly better, because at the end of the day this is driving standards as well within primary science and supporting all our work to make sure that primary science is the best that it possibly can be. So in terms of impact, we are really pleased with what happened last year, despite it being a challenging time. Over the 6 years that we've been going, we've had over 2,000 young people engaged, and our 6th birthday obviously will be next June. The reach has been across the UK and also into other countries, although spatterings across the globe there are still there. Saying that, we've still got a lot of work to do to drive further engagement, especially in Scotland, in Wales and in Northern Ireland. The move to virtual in 2020 was a really interesting one and a very quick one, and something that we think they will continue embracing as time goes on, and really using a range of medium in order that Great Science Share is accessible to as many people as possible. We know that some of indicative data has told us that if children are engaged in Great Science Share, they seem to demonstrate a high level of openness and resilience. They stick at things for longer. They've got higher levels of problem solving and creativity. And we also know that there seems to be some trends with regard to girls just performing equally well as boys, and also children from areas of socially disadvantaged areas performing just as equally as others. And those things are things that we really wanted to look into again this year, but were halted a little bit. But we'll be trying to revisit that, and the commitment we've made towards that is by supporting a PhD student. His name is Tim Blackwell. Hopefully you'll get to know him a little bit as well. He will be focusing his 3-year PhD on how we really engage pupils from disadvantaged areas and locations in campaigns such as the Great Science Share. So that's really exciting as well. So the Regional Champion Network has been in our mind for a while, and has come to fruition through the support of the Ogden Trust, the Primary Science Teaching Trust, BASF and other organisations such as CERC in Scotland, the University of Edinburgh, Rosalind Institute, and of course all of you. I can't name you all, but you know who you are. By taking on this role, we've asked you to commit at least 8 days to advocacy and development of the Great Science Share within your region. So really thinking about how we can drive engagement and also quality. You know your areas, you know your regions. I know that I've tried my best to come up and down the country at times to do that, and that you know, when that's a possibility again, I'm more than happy to do that. But really that ground roots work can happen so much better with people who are working in the places that they know best. So it's about maybe seeking out who you can collaborate with, you know, where there are key academy chains, STEM industries, informal learning settings, museums, arts-based organisations, universities that lie near you that might be able to support you, and not to see that you've got to go at this alone. We are really keen for you to actively work to achieve this huge goal, but also are very aware, and we need to be honest with each other. Your regions are massive, and no one champion could ever seek to fulfil a remit for the whole region by themselves. So the message here is to identify areas of development and extended reach that is feasible, that links possibly with the role that you've currently got anyway, and where you really feel that success can be achieved. There's no point in spreading ourselves too thin, but at the same time we are wanting to be ambitious, and where we can leverage support from local authority partners, newsletters and things like that, let's try and seek those out and seize those chances. Working in the way that we are is going to be so important to collaborate as best we can and can keep strong lines of communication. We'll be working remotely as much as possible and adopting what now is called, this blended approach. Just look at this. Who thought I would be doing an introductory video for a webinar next week? It would always been a face-to-face meeting with everyone hulking on trains, but it's good fun. It's something that we can all learn. So we'll endeavour to keep communications focused and supportive, and try not to pepper your inboxes too much. We please do ask you to keep in touch via email, and to CC and copy in Great Science Share or Great Sci Share at manchester.ac.uk into key messaging that you go out to your schools, so that we can just keep a bit of a track on that. And we'll also talk to you about the use of WhatsApp groups or Slack, things that we all decide might be good ways for us to keep chatting and being aware of each other's work. So the year will undoubtedly go so fast. We've created a timeline that's attached to this email as well, and we can talk more about that next week. And you might also like to have a look at the infographic, which you're very proud of course, to shout about how well Great Science Share went last year. So Great Science Share is growing, and with your support it will further thrive, and we can reach out into areas of the country that we haven't yet reached. Just imagine what the impact could be, not just for the Great Science Share itself, but for the bigger vision of supporting all young people to have a positive experience of primary science and to feel included in a wider family. By being non-competitive and seeking out ways to collaborate, we look forward to what can be achieved this year, working with you and listening to you and having your ideas embraced, and really then allowing children to share scientific questions and investigations in really great ways. So before next week, if you're interested, share a question with me or an insight or something that this little video has prompted you to have a think about, and I'll try and pick up on that when we meet virtually. So see you then, and take care everybody. Bye.